Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone from www.tarotforhealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. I am sorry if you can hear any banging in the background. Okay, but yes, this is your weekly reading from the 26th of January to the 1st of February, and today I'm going to be using the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards. This is another deck I haven't used in a really long time, and then I don't know, I just felt guided to use it out of the blue, and I really like it. And but it's just that hasn't been one of like my go-to decks, if you get what I'm saying. But it is still like a really good deck. The only issue I have with this deck, which isn't a really big issue, it's just like a little pet peeve, is that the way the cards are, which I love the backing in the cards, it has like all the chakra colors on there, but they always get stuck. Like one will always get stuck in here, like tucked in somewhere, and that's my only like qualm with the box. Like otherwise it looks really cute and it pulls out, like you hold this and it just slides out, but it really annoys me how like one card always gets like trapped at the bottom. Ugh. But otherwise I have no issues with this deck generally. So we're gonna see what is gonna be coming up for us this week, beginning the 26th of February. And there we go. First card is Expansion, which I really like. Expansion. To me, this card is like, it's a blue card, so it's representing the throat chakra. So it's about our self-expression, our inner truth, speaking our truth and stuff. Sometimes when our throat chakra is blocked, either we can feel like physical pain in our throat, or sometimes which is really interesting, you know, it's like sometimes if you're very emotional, and let's say you're about to cry, you might actually feel like something is like trapped in your throat, blocked in your throat. And sometimes that can also be because you're not expressing it, like either you're not letting your feelings show, you're not releasing it, so then you feel kind of choked up in your throat and stuff like that. But so if you're experiencing anything like that, or something that you haven't told somebody else but is something that's really important to you, or something that you might be even keeping a secret that you should actually reveal, this might be the week to kind of do that. But with the expansion card, to me it's talking about you expanding your own mind, expanding your own knowledge. As you can see here, the woman in this card is pregnant with the world, and to me that's being almost like pregnant with opportunities, pregnant with like a vision, an idea, something. The world in the tarot can symbolize your growth and your expansion, and learning karmic lessons, learning things that are really conducive to you in terms of your life and the direction that your life is taking. And then I like the way there looks like there's this angel that is there. So it's almost like it's saying that there's this presence that is around, that is helping you in terms of the things that you want to bring in to birth, the things that you want to bring into reality. And I like how this woman, she looks like she's almost conducting some kind of magical spell. This woman that has the yellow this yellow mist coming from her hands. So it might be even magical or synchronistic, I would say, like opportunities that can come forward. This is definitely a time where it's really good to maybe learn something that can be which kind of connects with the last reading I did, to learn something that can really, you know, push you forward this year, that can make you expand in some sort of way, and help you just learn more and grow more. And the middle card is Grief, which is interesting. I saw this card before I started shuffling as well. Grief. And so to me this card is, it's a green card, so it connects with the heart chakra. But the thing that I love about the green is, to me green is a really healing color. And so it's saying that, and that's so interesting, that like I was just talking about when you cry and you feel choked up and you don't say how you feel, and then the grief card comes and she's crying as well. So to me, it's saying that again, if there's something that you need to release, because I'm really feeling like that's probably the theme of what is going on in these cards. If there's something that needs to be released, if there's something that needs to be said, addressed, some kind of issue, then you really have to be able to voice your opinion and say how you feel. Otherwise, it's like that part of you becomes blocked, like your throat can become blocked, and even your heart chakra can become blocked. And also, if you are not really if you're just keeping things too like locked down inside of yourself. And I almost feel like when I look at this card is that they can almost be a feeling of like suffering in silence, and it's saying that you don't have to do that. You can release and any tensions, any upsets, any stress by speaking about them. And even if it's not a case of talking to the person that might be causing you this, it could even be useful to just be in some kind of therapy, something where you can really express how you feel to somebody that might even be like a neutral party that isn't really knows you personally or something like that. But I really feel that for some of you guys, this card is speaking of sort of healing the heart. And I mean, it could be a case of disappointment in relationships, not only relationships in a personal relationship, could even be with family members, friends. It kind of has, to me, this card really speaks of a personal upset, from somebody that should be loyal. Because like you can see, she's holding a dog here, and to me, dogs are supposed to be like loyal friends. So it can be the grief of losing somebody in your life that was somebody that was loyal to you. Maybe that's what is causing you upset. But then it's interesting that the expansion card came first, because it's almost like saying that any kind of grief or anything that you have to release or let go of that may be causing you any form of sadness, sometimes these things can happen because of our own processes that we're going through in life, the universal lessons that life teaches us. Everything has a beginning and everything has an end, so we can't expect things to consistently be the same. And I think we as human beings, that's what we want things to stay the same all the time, especially if it's good. Like, we want it to last forever. And there's no such thing. It's like everything has its period, everything has its season, and we kind of have to accept the changes as they come. And be prepared for whatever eventuality can appear. So the last card is forgiveness. Oh, I like this card. And I love the rhino with the little boy. It's so cute. um like when I look at these cards and I'm seeing expansion, grief, forgiveness, again, like I was talking a lot about releasing. Forgiveness is a way of releasing as well. Like showing up next to the grief card, it may mean that you have to finally forgive somebody that has caused you trouble in your life, somebody that may have hurt you deeply, someone that may have made you feel maybe even betrayed in some kind of way. It's saying that you have to learn to forgive that person or be open to forgiveness, because it's almost like that is going to be what is going to not only heal you, but it's also going to make you feel a sense of calm and peace. Because as you can see, like, they're sleeping here, they don't have any worries, any concerns, they're just there like peacefully asleep. And I think that's what forgiveness kind of does. It gives you the opportunity to be able to just feel more at peace with the situation. It doesn't have to mean that you're going to go and be best friends with this person again, or that you're going to go and open up yourself, or put yourself in the same position with that person again. That's not what forgiveness means. To me, forgiveness is just a case of letting go of any kind of resentment or any kind of feelings that will make you either hate that person or despise that person. Like, it's just sort of letting go of that kind of stuff and just deciding to be like, okay, they're a human, like I'm a human, we're all gonna make mistakes, and so I can just let go of whatever that person has done, and then we can just move forward in whatever direction is going to be best for the two of us. And that may not always, like I said, end up with you and that person being friends again or being close again, but it just means that you're just not holding any kind of resentment towards that person. And yeah, and I really think that a relationship can be healed that way, which is good. And the card underneath is confusion. Oh, and that forgiveness card as well. That forgiveness card connects with the it's the crown chakra. Yeah, indigo violet. Yeah, that's the crown chakra. So forgiveness definitely is, it serves a higher purpose. That's why it's like come up as the crown chakra, because the crown chakra is, it gives you the ability to see things from a higher perspective, from a higher spiritual perspective. So you're not coming from a place of just thinking about yourself, or because sometimes that's also why we don't forgive. Sometimes we don't forgive because it's almost like we can't come to terms with a person hurting us, and it's almost like we feel like, oh, how dare that person do this and that, that's going to hurt us. But that emotion, that feeling is a very um it's not coming from a higher place. It's coming more from an ego-centered place. That's what it is. Because your ego is hurt, because you think to yourself, I'm this person, how dare this other person do this to me? Like, all of that is just you just coming directly from your own self. Um and so it's like, I guess like forgiveness on the other hand, it comes from sort of a more higher kind of spiritual conscious place. And so it's almost like you are able to do something that is for the greater good of, than just your own personal satisfaction, but something that is for the greater good in terms of you, of your own healing, and for the other person's healing, and just as in humanity in general, because whenever we do anything positive towards one other person, it does have an effect on everyone else. So it's almost like you can forgive one person, and it can just help in just raising the vibration of like the whole universe, because of the fact that you're of a higher vibration, because you release all the negativity. So that's very positive. And so this card, it doesn't have a chakra attachment, that's why it's gray. Because some of the cards in this deck, the ones that aren't attached to chakras, they're all gray. And it says confusion, and that is what is underneath the deck. And what I see when I look at this card is, it's like this woman, and she's wrapped up in a cloud, but she looks cold. She looks cold, and she kind of looks annoyed. And to me, it's like, this card is almost like connecting to what I was saying just a minute ago. Like, when you look at her expression, she doesn't look like someone that is very forgiving. She looks like someone that, as you can see, this cloud or whatever entity this is all around her, and she looks frustrated, she looks upset. And to me, it's almost like holding on to upsets from somebody else, or I feel like this can even be holding on to upsets because of the situation that you're in. Maybe you feel that you're currently in a place in your life, something in your life is you're in it, but you're not satisfied with it, you're not happy with it. And the confusion might be, maybe you just don't know how to deal with it. But it seems that right now you're not taking any active steps to make the situation better. You're not taking any active steps for you to move forward in any kind of way. It's like you're still stuck in a situation, but you're feeling resentful for being in that situation. And to me, that's sort of what I look at as just, it's like self-harm. Like when you put yourself in a situation and stay in a situation that you know is unhealthy for you, to me that's like inflicting harm on yourself, because you're not happy there. And in some instances, it's not always that we are physically trapped. It's just a case of, sometimes we don't even want things to change. Sometimes we just want to complain about our situation. And I definitely know people that are like that. Like, they just like to complain and kind of be like, "Whoa, it's me," but they don't physically do anything to make their situation better. And I think that this card could be referring to somebody that is in that kind of predicament. So what I would say is, in order to move forward, you definitely have to take on more of a proactive attitude, and then that's when you're going to start to see the changes happen in your life. See you guys. Bye.